Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to start this afternoon's program with a permission of the use of Indian land. This land acknowledgement is a statement formally recognizing historical and continuing connection between Indigenous peoples and the land. Our acknowledgement honors the ancestors of the Indigenous peoples who were the original stewards of these lands, waters, flora, and fauna. Strathmore's 16-acre campus is located on the unceded ancestral land of the Piscataway-Conway people. We respectfully acknowledge the rich culture and contributions of all Indigenous communities, past, present, and future. We are now going to have the Prayer for Peace by Hope Kadanji with the Nakanchi-Tak people of the Piscataway Convoy chieftain belonging to the Deer clan.
Way-ah-ho, 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 Gaia watchine, oh Gaia watchine, Gaia watchine, oh Gaia watchine, Gaia watchine, way oh Gaia watchine, oh Gaia watchine. Nulalentum, El Paik. It is good to see you here today. My name is Hope. I'm a member of the Piscataway tribe, part of the Deer clan. My native name is Machisa, and Machisa means fire starter. This morning, it was a little hard to get out of bed because I didn't feel that fire. And a part of me didn't feel that hope. But I remembered the words of Martin Luther King. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. Me being hope, I realize I cannot lose it because I will always be hope. And I want to come here to help bring hope and peace and love. Martin Luther King, we remember him for a man who fought for civil rights of African Americans, but also advocated for the social equality of Native Americans. In a letter from Birmingham jail, Martin Luther King said, "Our nation was born in genocide, and when embraced the doctrine that the original American, the Indian, was an inferior race. Even before there was large numbers of Negroes on our shores, the scar of racial hatred had already disfigured colonial society. We are perhaps the only nation which tried as a matter of national policy to wipe out its indigenous populations. And moreover, we elevated the tragic experience into a noble crusade." Martin Luther King gave people hope. And today, as an African American, indigenous, Hispanic woman, I am the hope and the dreams of my ancestors and for those who came before us. That's why we cannot give up hope. We must stay the course to fight injustice, resilience, and most importantly, hope. Love can only conquer hate, and we must keep love in our hearts, even when it is difficult to do so. If you are comfortable and able, I ask for you to stand as I give an Indigenous blessing on behalf of our Piscataway elder and leader, Rico Newman of the Choctaw Band of Piscataway Indians. It is a Native tradition to begin sessions where the exchange of ideas is to occur and where respect and acceptance are intended and needed. To that end, we address that outcome by noting the gifts we receive from what we call the four directions. From the South, where the season of growth and renewal brings us those things from the earth and that makes us stand up well, I ask that gift to be with us and that no one has untoward issues that may impact their health and distract from the efforts at hand. From the west, where clouds bring us the waters that nourish the earth and fill our waterways, providing life to those of the waters. I ask the waters that flow in all of us, keep our throats moist, that your words flow freely and true when you speak, and that your eyes stay clear to see what takes place, and your ears stay unstopped to hear what is truly said. From the north, may the cold winds keep our minds clear and disperse the mind creatures that twist meaning, true purpose, and bring discord and dissension. And from the east, where the sun brings us the light of day to shine into our minds to avoid the pitfalls and obstacles placed in our paths to impede progress. For those and many blessings we receive without asking, we give our sincere thanks. May you stand up well and enjoy the view from the bridge. Thank you.
We will now have Angela Miracle Gladue, AKA Miss Chief Raka, perform a ceremonial dance, the hoop dance. It's a storytelling dance, and it originates from the Taos Pueblo tribe of New Mexico. Welcome to our 30th celebration, the 2025 Montgomery County Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Birthday Tribute and Celebration. A view from the bridge, injustice, resistance, and hope. We are going to have the national anthem sung by Ms. Consuela Watts, a Howard University student and previous AXO National Vocal Gold medalist. She won the Vocal Contemporary category with the AXO program.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please continue to stand for Lift Every Voice and Sing, the Black National Anthem, I Spur of the Moment, the National Recording Jazz and R&B Band. you. We will now have a spoken word by Miss Tiffany Egwim. Her spoken word is called We Have a Dream. Ms. Egwim.
We have a dream, formed by the hands of God, just like you and I. Yet a question still bubbles my mind, dwelling in a society painted with colors that form a clear divide. In the 1700s, we were dogs held on a leash, cargo brought into a deep sea that they called our destiny. And the leash was tight, but Stono chose to fight. And the sea turned red overnight. Revolution was on the lips of many, and a possibility was at bay. But who could reach it before it floats away? In the 1800s, a pendulum played the role as our battleground overnight. The Congress said stop with the fake white flags. This made them laugh and use the act to lash back. Stono became Nat, and we all followed in pursuit. This formed a movement, and the liberator became the golden boot. A conflict arose with its purpose to define, a proclamation untold, maybe even a lie. In the 1900s, a crow named Jim hid in the shadows of our freedom, and separate became equal. This shepherded a voice on a national level. A whip that could lynch brought fears and tears, making us realize we had to conquer a new devil. Faces of Hope inspired us with a vision, but Martin and Malcolm were laid, so we made it a mission. Today we are free and out of this prison, and Obama can be a president, and a Kamala can aspire to be the next. But that never means there is never a threat. A role of protection can deceive, making us yet again challenge our beliefs. The deaths of the likes of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Trayvon Martin raised a fear of a relapse. And that's when BLM started to face the trouble, to rekindle the struggle. 300 years of blood, sweat, and tears, bodies piled over the years. When did this begin and when will it end? That's my question and where I stand. We have a dream that one day we will break the chains of discrimination, that one day we will control our destiny and its progression, that one day violence will not be an option, that one day we will rule our world without a sign of caution, that one day absolute equality will reign and end these centuries of death and pain. Thank you.
Let's give Ms. Egwim another hand.
Hello, everyone. Oh, we can do better than that. Hello, everyone. Welcome and happy Dr. Martin Luther King birthday. We are so glad to see all of you. We were a little day later than what we had anticipated, but we think we made the best decision for your safety, and I hope you would agree that we had a gorgeous day today. A little cool. No, it's not true. It was cold today. It is still cold today. But at any rate, we're glad to see all of you here today. My friends, I stand before you with a vision, an unwavering belief in a world where justice, freedom, and peace are not mere dreams, but living, breathing realities. And in that vision, I see a bridge that spans the chasm of inequality, racism, and division. A bridge that carries us across the turbulent waters of hatred and injustice, toward a land of harmony and true, hard to do brotherhood. So let me just share with you 5 attributes of the bridge, this bridge that I speak, this bridge of hope that will guide us toward a better tomorrow. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the Akamendova Ballet Company with 3 Bridges of Hope. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, County Executive Mark Elrich and Council President Kate Stewart.
Hello and welcome on our 30th celebration and observance of life and legacy of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And I'm pleased to see so many of you here, and I want to express my thanks and appreciation to Jim Stowe and the Office of Human Rights for developing and coordinating this afternoon's program, all the artists, the technical teams, Strathmore Center, and WMATA for their partnership in all this. And we're taking an opportunity to focus on Dr. King's dream and reflect on how we can honor it. We hope today's program will provide that opportunity. I want to welcome you on behalf of the county government, our executive branch, and our council members, some of whom you'll hear from later in the program. We extend all our appreciation to you for your attendance and support of this special program. And I want to personally thank the weather for making us move this event forward to its rightful place, the 20th. Today, the idea of this celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King, that it would have to make way for the inauguration of a man who seeks to erase the entire body of work of Dr. King and the millions of people who it took to get us, our nation, to even begin to recognize the lasting legacy and persistence of racism that we're compelled to concretely address in our time, would have been a little bit surreal and a little bit of off kilter had we not moved it. Plus, I doubt that this event today provided much conflict for most of you. Somehow I don't picture you being torn between where you're going to be today. We talk about upholding light as a force against darkness, and that's a tradition in many religions. And today, this is our light in the effort against darkness. We're here to honor the legacy of his work and to reaffirm our commitment to continue the work he started. Events like this remind me of a scene from the movie about James Baldwin, I'm Not Your Negro, where a reporter stops Dr. King in the halls of Congress and questions him and says, some people say you're pushing too fast. Dr. King said, they want us to wait another 40 years. When I saw that, I thought about it. Dr. King replied that we expected they wanted another 40 years, but he was right about what people wanted. He was not right about the time. We are 60 years past that encounter, and we're not there yet. Here we are in 2025. We have a lot of unfinished work in front of us, and it's not finished because much of white America can't wrap its heads around the concept that the timeline for liberating people and securing the blessings of liberty for Black America should have come to pass centuries ago, and if not then the time is now. Not a week from now, not a year from now, not 40 years from now, it's now. Whatever affects us, one of us, affects all of us indirectly. We are aware that the wind of change is in the air, and uncertainty is ever present. But I want to reassure you about something. Even though the federal government wiped out DEI, I'll use the dreaded words, diversity, equity, and inclusion are still alive in Montgomery County, and nothing that happens in Washington is going to change who we are and what we are trying to do. Our legislative goals will focus on our community, and through the collective will of my colleagues on the council and our administration, we will build a bridge of unity, strength, serving all of the people of Montgomery County. Today's theme, A View from the Bridge, looks at three iconic bridges: the Black Bayou Bridge in Mississippi, the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama, and the Talbot Avenue Bridge here in Silver Spring. Historic and symbolic are bridges that often separate us. In our case, the Talbot Street Bridge was seen by the community as a barrier. You could not live on the other side of the bridge, but you could work in somebody's house on the other side of the bridge, but not good enough to live on the other side of a bridge. And that's something that community has been acutely aware of. Much like train tracks that run through our communities, your success in life can depend on the side of the tracks you come from. You can be on one side of the bridge or the other side of that bridge. In Montgomery County, we're committed to building bridges that connect and bring people together, to replace separation with unity and despair with hope. We will do this with our strength of conviction, strength of commitment, and the unified strength of the will of all of us who make Montgomery County our home. Strength, our bridge, is built on the foundation of unshakable strength. It does not bend under the weight of adversity. It stands tall and proud, for it knows that the pursuit of justice is not an easy road, but we will not walk back or retreat from the pursuit of justice and equality. And when the forces of oppression seek to tear it down, this bridge, our bridge, will stand firm, anchored in the righteousness of the cause. It is a reminder that true justice requires resilience, a strength that is rooted in love, not hate. And I turn this over to Kate.
Thank you. Thank you, County Executive, and welcome everyone this evening. I am so glad to welcome you on behalf of the Montgomery County Council, and you will hear from my colleagues in a moment. Tonight is a wonderful evening to come together as a community. And we are reminded today and every day that strength is not merely the power to resist or endure. It is the quiet, unwavering courage to stand in the face of adversity, even when the winds of oppression howl with ferocity. And the winds are howling today. We heard them. But we know we can stand strong when we stand strong together. And that is what today is about. And I want to just thank you, everyone, for being here. As we talk about bridges and we speak of the bridges of justice, it is built from the strength of countless souls who have dared to dream of a better world. Strength is found in those who refuse to turn away, who refuse to remain silent when they see wrong. It is the strength of those who rise after they have been knocked down and who find hope in the darkest moments. The strength of the civil rights movement lies not in the ability to fight back with violence, but in the power to love, to endure, and to build a future based on equality. True strength is measured not by the fist, but by the heart that never gives up the fight for justice. Thank you for being here, and I would now like to introduce my colleagues, Councilmember Marilyn Balcom at District 2, and Councilmember at Large Lori Ann Sales. Thank you.
Unity. This bridge is not made by one, but by many hands. It is a collective effort. People from all walks of life, all races and backgrounds, working together, hand in hand, toward a common goal. Just as the individual planks of a bridge come together to form a whole, so too must we unite as one human family, bound by the ties of equality and mutual respect. This is the power of freedom. Freedom from division and the bonds of injustice. Unity is the strength of the collective, the realization that they are all bound together by the common threads of humanity. The struggle for civil rights is not a solitary journey, but a shared mission, one that belongs to all of us. Unity is the essential binder if we want our communities to thrive and leverage the human potential, often unutilized because the skin color, or religion, or language, or culture, or gender of those who otherwise would contribute.
Good afternoon. The bridges we stand on today are not built by one man or one woman, but by the hands of many, of those who have given their lives in the fight for freedom, and of those who continue the work today. Unity is the antidote to division, the force that drives us toward common ground, even when the world around us tries to pull us apart. We must be united in our belief that justice for one is justice for all. When we stand together, we are an unbreakable force, and the barriers that divide us can no longer stand. The bridge to a brighter future is not built on individualism, but on collective effort, on unity of purpose, unity of heart, and unity of action. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we can and shall overcome. It starts, however, with our unwavering commitment to uplift and support and respect each other in times of agreement and in disagreement. Unity. And now I want to welcome my colleagues, Councilmember Andrew Friedson of District 1 and Councilmember of District 3, Sydney Katz.
This bridge is not fragile. It is built to endure the trials of time and the storms of life. It teaches us that justice and peace are not temporary states of being, but enduring principles that withstand the tests of history. As we march forward in the struggle for equality, we must understand that the road is long and the journey is arduous, but the bridge endures, and so must we, with the steady commitment to the cause of freedom. Endurance is the quiet strength that sustains us through the long march towards freedom. It is the determination that refuses to be deterred by setbacks, by roadblocks, or by the long stretch of time. Endurance provides a pathway to accomplishment. Endurance is not instantaneous, but it is built over time with sustained effort and ongoing commitment. Our endurance will be tested time and time again. My friends, there is uncertainty at this critical time in our nation and here in our local community. Yet as we are tested with whatever may come before us, our community will stand steadfast to our shared commitment to one Montgomery County.
The civil rights movement did not achieve victory overnight, nor did it come without sacrifice. But those who walked before us endured. They endured the slings and arrows of hatred and oppression. They endured because they knew that the arc of the moral universe may be long, but it bends towards justice. We too must endure. The road ahead may be difficult, and the challenges we face today may seem daunting. But as we walk upon the bridge of justice, we must remember that endurance is not simply about lasting through hardship. It's about perseverance in the face of adversity, with the knowledge of every step brings us closer to the fulfillment of the dream. Every act of kindness, every effort to meet the needs of the least of those in our community, every victory over acts of hate, every injustice made right, all bring us closer to the fulfillment of Dr. King's dream. We are who we think we are, and we can be who we want to be. To achieve the ultimate goal of the Dr. King's beloved community, it will take more than our desire and good intentions, but rather our deeds and actions will speak for us. It is now my pleasure and honor to introduce my friends and colleagues, at-large Councilmember Gabe Albornoz and District 7 Councilmember Dawn Lukey.
Grace. The beauty of the bridge lies in its grace. It is not a bridge of violence or coercion, but one of love and understanding. It teaches us that justice is not about retribution, but reconciliation. It teaches us that freedom is not just the absence of oppression, but the presence of opportunity and equality. It reminds us that the path to peace is paved with grace, and that grace flows from the heart of every man and woman who dares to believe in the possibility of a better world. Grace is the gift we give not only to others, but also to ourselves. It is the Spirit that moves us to forgive even when the wounds seem too deep, to seek reconciliation when hatred threatens to consume us. Grace would have us to consider and reconsider our words and actions. It requires contemplation and reflections of the role we played in the circumstance before us, and to move forward with humility.
Grace is the quiet power that transforms hearts and minds, even in the midst of struggle. It is the essence of Dr. King's message that we must not only work for justice, but must also love in the process. Grace allows us to see beyond the faults and flaws of others and to see each person as a child of God. It is the bridge that helps us move beyond anger and division towards peace and unity. In our struggle for civil rights, we are called not just to demand justice, but to extend grace, to forgive, to heal, and to build a world where love transcends hate. Grace does not forget injustice, but it chooses the path of redemption, leading us toward a future where peace and justice can finally coexist. Grace, however, is the most difficult because it requires one to diminish the importance of just thinking of himself or herself and consider the needs and privileges of others in an entirely new light. It is now my honor and privilege to introduce our friends and colleagues, District 5 Councilmember Kristen Mink and District 6 Councilmember Natalie Fanny Gonzalez.
And finally, this bridge is a bridge of hope. It is a symbol of our collective dream, a dream that one day we will live in a world where justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. This bridge is a pathway to the beloved community where every soul is free, where every heart can find peace, and where justice reigns supreme. Hope is the light that guides us in the face of despair. It is the bridge that connects our dreams to our reality. It is the light that shines in the darkest of times, that brings us back to our feet, reminding us that even in the midst of despair, a better tomorrow is possible and worth fighting for. And so, we commit ourselves to the work of possibility. Accept nothing less than our best efforts to eliminate the shackles of the status quo. To eliminate the shackles of the status quo. Dr. King's dream was not one rooted in the circumstances of his day, but in the conviction that we can build a world that reflects the true meaning of justice, equality, and love.
We need hope in our lives and our pursuit of our dreams. But to be clear, hope is not passive, it is active. It is the belief that we are capable of creating change. It is the spark that moves us to action, that impels us to rise, speak, and walk forward despite the challenges that may lie ahead. Hope is the substance that sustains the bridge we walk on today. Without hope, the challenges we face as a human society will simply be overwhelming. It's hope that is rooted in faith, in the belief that while we may not always see the full picture, we know that each step we take brings us closer to a world where justice reigns and where freedom is the birthright of all. With hope, all things seem possible. Hope has guided us through every valley our society has encountered, and it is the hope that a better day is just around the corner that continues to guide us today. We believe in Montgomery County and that the bridge we build will be reinforced with grace, endurance, hope, and unity. The only thing needed is the love we must give to one another. It is my privilege to introduce you with my council colleague, Council Vice President Will Yawanda.
Don't worry, I'm the last one. So, my friends, let us cross this bridge together, this bridge of strength, of unity, of endurance, of grace, of hope. Let's do it together, with freedom, with love, and with the unshakable belief that justice, freedom, and peace are not some distant dream, but a future that we together can make real, one step at a time. Let the bridge be built and let it stand forever as a testament to our unwavering commitment to the beloved community Dr. King so often spoke about. So tonight, we invite you to travel with us from the past to the present, to see through the eyes of our past, present, and future leaders. Stand with us, walk with us. Join us as we honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on his birthday, reflecting on his legacy and his vision. Tonight, we embark on a journey across 3 historically iconic bridges: the Black Bayou Bridge in Mississippi, the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Alabama, and the Talbot Avenue Bridge in Silver Spring, Maryland. All significant bridges, bridges that have played a pivotal role in the struggle for civil rights. So, ladies and gentlemen, a view from the bridge in justice, resistance, and hope. Enjoy.
A story of 3 bridges in justice. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Loki Mulholland, an Emmy Award-winning filmmaker, author, activist, and son of civil rights icon Joan Mulholland.
Emmett Till wasn't killed because he whistled. He was killed because he was black. Black in America, black in Mississippi, black. That was his only real offense against white supremacy, his existence. In her book, Death of Innocence, Emmett's mother described the talk she gave to her son before he left for Mississippi. Don't start any conversations with white people. Only talk if you're spoken to. If you're walking down the street and a white woman is walking toward you, step off the sidewalk. Lower your head. Don't look her in the eye. If you have to humble yourself, then do it. Get on your knees if you have to. She wondered if she had done enough. She wrote, "How do you give a crash course in hatred to a boy who had only known love?" As Emmett bound up the steps to the platform for his train to Mississippi, his mother called out to him, "Bo," his nickname, "you didn't give me a kiss goodbye. How do I know if I'll see you again?" She won it. Emmett really didn't know the world he was entering. Mississippi was not Chicago. Surely Chicago had its racism, but Mississippi was so bad that folks had fled it for places like Chicago during the Great Migration, when nearly 6 million African Americans escaped the oppressiveness of the Deep South for better treatment, opportunities, education, their very lives. The 1954 ruling of Brown versus Board of Education to integrate schools was seen as a further affront against white supremacy. A white Mississippi Circuit Court Judge Tom P. Brady led the charge with his book and speech, Black Monday, reminding Southern white men of their duty to protect their white women from those he deemed were no more than chimpanzees. And whites responded. In May 1955, Reverend George W. Lee was hit with 3 shotgun blasts while driving his car, shattering his jaw and causing him to crash. Sheriff Ike Shelton said Reverend Lee died in a traffic accident and claimed the buckshot was merely his teeth fillings jarred loose from the crash. On August 13th, Lamar Smith, a war veteran, was killed on the steps of the Brookhaven courthouse in broad daylight. An all-white grand jury failed to return an indictment on the 3 known white killers. 8 days later, Emmett Till would enter Mississippi. While Mississippi was bad, the Mississippi Delta was even worse. It's home to some of the richest soil, but the most dire of poverty. It's a cursed patch of earth that harbors secrets from a far from distant past, where ghostly mobs carried out the whims of white supremacy over and over and over again. In this world, a 14-year-old black boy didn't stand a chance. And there's a question that is always raised when one talks about Emmett Till. What did Emmett do? The answer is simple. There's no need for elaboration. It's summed up in a single word: nothing. That's it. It's a grave injustice to his memory to speculate what he might have done when nothing he could have been accused of merited a death sentence. It also draws our attention away from the perpetrators. As we search for the cause, it inadvertently provides a twisted justification where there is none. Our focus is pulled to the wrong place and creates the illusion that the scene of the crime was at the Bryant grocery store where Emmett whistled, when in fact it was 30 miles away. So what really happened 4 days later, just a couple of hours after midnight on August 28, 1955, a night which Emmett's uncle said was as dark as 1,000 midnights? According to William Bradford Huey, Look magazine article, The Shocking Story of Approved Killing in Mississippi, the story generations of Americans have grown up on. At around 2 a.m. on August 28, 1955, 2 white men, Roy Bryant and J.W. Milam, kidnapped a 14-year-old black boy named Emmett Bobo Till, who, a few nights before, asked Carolyn Bryant, a 21-year-old white woman, for a date. When she refused, he, quote, caught her by the waist and said, "You needn't be afraid of me, baby. I've been with white girls before." The 2 white men, with Emmett in the bed of their truck, drove for nearly 3 hours. He wasn't tied down. Nobody was holding him. The answer, according to William Bradford Huey, was he wasn't afraid. In a tool shed behind Milam's home, J.W. Milam and Roy Bryant began whipping Emmett under the blows to his head with 45 pistols. Bobo never hollered. Instead, he defiantly declared, "I'm as good as you are. I've had white women. My grandmother was a white woman." Milam couldn't take any more and decided it was time to act. They drove to Boyle, Mississippi to get a gin fan and then back to Glendora into the Tallahatchie River. Milam makes Emmett carry the 74-pound gin fan to the bank of the river and orders him to take off his clothes. A little before 7 on a Sunday morning, after one last exchange, Milam pulled out his .45 and shot Emmett Till. They barbed wired the gin fan to his neck and rolled him into the river. But that's not what happened. It was a story manufactured from bits of truth to hide even darker secrets. Huey didn't just omit key elements, he rewrote the very facts underpinning the murder of Emmett Till while providing cover to a broader conspiracy that would include the Tallahatchie County Sheriff, the White Citizens Council, and not 2, but at least 7 accomplices. And the proof was always there. A basic reading of the timing of the events in the article proved it was not possible. In just 3 hours, they supposedly drove over 200 miles around the Mississippi Delta in 1955 after kidnapping Emmett. Again, they went to the Mississippi River to search for a bluff, returned to Glendora to beat him in a tool shed behind Milam's house, and then drove out to Boyle to get a gin fan, and then back to Glendora to the Tallahatchie River where they killed Emmett and dumped his body. It's incredulous even when you put aside the fact that Milam's wife said there wasn't a tool shed behind their house. And an easily obtainable aerial agricultural photograph from the same time corroborates her statement. So then what really happened? Emmett was brutally murdered in a barn outside of Drew, Mississippi. There was no bravado on his part. A witness who heard the beating said he could hear Emmett crying out under the crushing blows until there was just silence. It lasted so long that some of his killers left the barn to get a drink, only to return to continue their onslaught. In a secret recording, one of the killers, Roy Bryant, said Emmett was so far gone that taking him to a hospital, quote, wouldn't have done him no good. He's then heard laughing. Emmett was shot in the head with a .45 caliber pistol in the barn outside Drew, with at least 5 of the 7 accomplices in attendance, not on the bank of the Tallahatchie River by 2 men. The gin fan was not from Boyle, but from Glendora, where the Milams lived, and another accomplice, Elmer Kimbrell, worked at the local gin mill. A little more than 3 months after the death of Emmett Till, Kimbrell shot and killed Clinton Melton, a black attendant, for putting too much gas in his car. He was also found not guilty. With the sun quickly rising, they drove to the Black Bayou Bridge, less than half a mile from the gin mill, barbed wired the gin fan to Emmett's neck, and tossed him into the river. The swift currents pulled his lifeless body beneath the cool, murky water, down the Black Bayou and into the Tallahatchie River, where his body would be found 3 days later. The Black Bayou Bridge remains to this day. Down a dirt road, passing government housing, burned out homes, and a church is the bridge. Erased from history to hide the truth of who killed Emmett Till. A truth that is vitally important and doesn't require embellishment with innuendos and falsehoods. And I've stood on the bridge many times. I've seen the water. I've seen the bullet casings and broken glass, the rusting iron of a 116-year-old unassuming landmark. I've imagined the final moments as I stood there. Emmett's lifeless body, the gin fan, the acceleration to the river's surface. Men laughing, believing they would never be caught. What would you see if you looked out onto the water? What perspective would it provide? My view from the bridge? Injustice. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shirlita Settles will be followed by Mr. Darrell Davis.
Southern trees bear strange fruit, blood on the leaves and blood at the root, black bodies swinging in the southern breeze, strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees. pastoral scene from the gallant south, the bulging eyes and the twisted mouth, scent of magnolia, sweet and fresh, then the sudden smell of burning flesh. Here is a fruit for the crows to pluck, for the rain to gather, for the wind to suck, for the sun to rot, and the trees to drop. Here is a strange fruit and bitter.
Good afternoon. All right, my name is Darrell Davis. Very pleased to be here. I want to thank Montgomery County and the Strathmore and James Stowe from the Montgomery County Human Rights Commission for putting this fantastic Martin Luther King Day on. Let's give them all a hand one time. Music is my profession, but bettering race relations is my obsession. And it would be 62 years ago, this coming August, that Martin Luther King stood just a few miles from here on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial and gave one of the greatest speeches ever given in this country, called I Have a Dream. And in that speech, he shared many dreams that he had. And many of them, all of them, should come to fruition. One of them stood out to me and resonated with me the most. And I'm going to paraphrase it. He said that he dreamed one day the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners would sit down to the table of brotherhood together. Fast forward, when he made that statement on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, I was 5 years old. I was not there. But my father had marched with Dr. King and was there. So of course, in the ensuing years, I'd heard that speech and read that speech many times over. And that was the one that really resonated with me. Fast forward 20 years, 1983. I'm a professional musician, graduated from college with my degree in music, and now I'm playing full time. I played in a band that was an all-white band except for myself, and they were pretty well established here in the Maryland area. We had a gig up in Frederick, Maryland, at an establishment that was not welcoming to black people. There were no signs, but it had a reputation that black people were not welcome. And here I was in this place. We had finished our first set of music. I took a break, and I'm following the band over to the band table. I felt somebody from behind put their arm across my shoulder. Now, I don't know anybody in this place. I see the whole band in front of me. I'm turning around to see who's touching me. It was a white gentleman, perhaps 15 to 20 years older than me, big smile on his face. He said he enjoyed the music. I shook his hand and thanked him. And then he said that this was the first time he'd ever heard a black man play piano like Jerry Lee Lewis. I was not offended, but I was rather surprised, given this guy's age difference than my own, that he did not know the black origin of Jerry Lee Lewis's piano style. And I proceeded to tell him that Jerry Lee got it from the same place I got it from black blues and boogie-woogie piano players. Yes, indeed. And that's where rock and roll and rockabilly evolved. The man was incredulous. He did not believe me. He said, I never heard no black person play like that except for you. So I'm thinking, okay, well, the guy never saw Little Richard or Fats Domino, same boogie style. But nonetheless, he did not believe me. I said, look, man, I know Jerry Lee Lewis. He's a friend of mine. He's told me himself where he learned this style of music. He didn't believe that either. But he insisted that I come back to his table and let him buy me a drink. I don't drink alcohol, but I went back to his table and I let him buy me a cranberry juice. He took his glass, he clinked my glass and cheered me. And then he said, you know, this is the first time I ever sat down and had a drink with a black man. And now I'm totally baffled. Like, how can this be? And I asked him why. He didn't answer me at first. I asked him again. And he said, I'm a member of the Ku Klux Klan. Well, I burst out laughing at him because now I didn't believe him. And while I was laughing, he went inside his pocket, pulled out his wallet, flipped through it, and handed me his Klan membership card. I recognized all the stuff on the Klan on there, and I stopped laughing. This thing was for real. I gave it back to him, and we began talking. We talked about the Klan and many other things. And every time I would play there, he would come and see me and bring Klansmen and Klanswomen to see, as he put it, the black guy who plays like Jerry Lee. I'm not sure he called me the black guy to his friends, but that's how he explained it to me. And so, we developed a friendship, and we talked and talked, and it did not dawn on me right at that time, but much later, it occurred to me that I had done exactly what Martin Luther King had dreamed about. Thank you. I, as the descendant of slaves, sat down at the table of brotherhood with the descendants of slave owners. And as a result of this experience with him, I decided that I would become the first black author to go around the country and interview Grand Dragons, Imperial Wizards, and other Klan leaders and regular rank and file members and other white supremacists. So I started here in Maryland. I went up north, down south, Midwest, west, and wrote a book about it. And my brand new book on it just came out 2 weeks ago. You can find it on Amazon, called The Klan Whisperer, and tell you all the techniques and things that I use. As a result of me having this conversation with this man, I came to know that a missed opportunity for dialogue is a missed opportunity for conflict resolution. So because of him, I have gone around the country and had these conversations. He ended up leaving the Klan, as did many, many other people. And as a result, this is the Klan robe. This is the robe of an imperial wizard, which means national leader. This guy was right here in Maryland. Another one who left was a Grand Dragon here in Maryland. This is the man's hood and mask. This Grand Dragon right here, he was out of the Baltimore area. When I first contacted him, he was in prison. He was in prison for 4 years for trying to bomb a synagogue up in Baltimore. He continued running the Klan while he was in prison through his guy on the outside. When he got out, he took it over again. Shortly thereafter, he went back to prison for 3 years for assault with intent to murder 2 black men with a shotgun. Now, being a Klan leader, whether it's Imperial Wizard or Grand Dragon, you don't make any money. It's like being a Boy Scout leader. You have to have a regular job, right? So his regular job, while he was trying to bomb that synagogue, Baltimore City police officer. He was not an undercover cop in the Klan gathering intelligence. He was a bona fide Klansman on the Baltimore City police force. And there have been more. So, as a result of conversation, these people got out and became good friends of mine and have given me their robes and hoods and police uniforms. I have a ton of these things. I only brought a couple just to show you the power of conversation. A missed opportunity for dialogue is a missed opportunity for conflict resolution. Now, people go to church on Sunday and atone for whatever they did during the week, but then on Monday through Saturday, they start all over again, right? Only to come back to church on Sunday and atone for it. It's like a cycle. And there was a Klansman named Johnny Lee Clary, an imperial wizard, a national leader, vehemently violent, anti-Semitic, and racist. But he finally saw the light, and he became an ordained minister. And he would bring everybody together in his congregation, and he would chastise them for talking the talk but not walking the walk, for coming to church on Sunday and atoning and then messing up Monday through Saturday. He had a saying, you cannot be a Sunday saint and a Monday ain't. And I implore each and every one of you, if you're here to honor Martin Luther King Jr., don't just honor him today on Martin Luther King Day. Honor him throughout the year. Don't mess up tomorrow and come back 365 days later in 2026 and atone for it today. Live his dream. Bring his dream into a reality. I've been doing it now for just over 40 years. Now, I don't remember all the songs that I played back in 1983 when the Klansmen first heard me, but I remember doing some Jerry Lee Lewis, and I remember that style, and here's one of the songs that Jerry Lee did. This song was written by a black blues songwriter named David Curley Williams. It was first recorded by a black female blues singer named Big Maybelle. And Jerry Lee heard it, and he took the song, he rocked it up a little bit, and it became what you will recognize. Ready? Thank you. Well, come on over, baby. Whole lot of shaking going on. Come on over, darling. Baby, you can't go wrong. I ain't faking. Whole lot of shaking going on. Come on over, baby. We like shaking in the barn. Come on over, darling. You really got to roll by the horn. I ain't faking. Whole lot of shaking going on. I said shake, baby, shake. Shake, baby, shake. Shake. Oh, you can shake it one time for me. Baby, shake. Come on over. Whole lot of shaking going on. Baby, shake, shake, baby, shake, woo, shake. Oh, you can shake it one time for me, baby, shake. I ain't faking. Oh, lot of shaking going on. Oh, little boogie woogie now. Baby, shake, shake, baby, shake, woo, shake. Oh, you can shake it one time for me, baby, shake. Come on over. Oh, lot of shaking going on. Easy now, bring it down. I want to thank this fine band for backing me up today. Spur of the moment. On the drums, give it up one time, Mr. Marcus Turner. On the bass guitar, Mr. Mark Walker. On soprano saxophone, Mr. Brian Lanier. On the lead guitar and band leader, Mr. Wayne Bruce. On the keyboard and synthesizer, Mr. Vince Evans. Thank you all. Yours truly, my name is Daryl Davis. Take care. Stick around.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Daryl Davis and Spur of the Moment. A story of three bridges, resistance, the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome freedom fighter, attorney Phil Hunter, and the Concert Choral of Washington.
Good evening. How in the world can I top that? My name is Philip Hunter. I'm originally from Selma, Alabama. I left Selma in 1965, caught the first thing smoking out of Selma. Went to New York and stayed there for a year. But in Selma, I was one of the members that crossed that Edmund Pettus Bridge on that infamous day, Bloody Sunday, the 7th day of March, 1965. I was 17 years old at the time. I'm 77 now. And the struggle continues with our new president. I think we're going to have some reversals. Selma, the bridge, Edmund, and I do have what I call the Edmund Pettus Bridge post-syndrome disorder. Every time I see a bridge, I'm afraid somebody gonna push me off of it. On that fateful day, it was kind of gloomy in the afternoon when our leaders had prearranged for us to march across that bridge. I had crossed that bridge several times as a paper boy, and I was always afraid to cross that bridge. I moved as far away to the right of the outside of the border so that I wouldn't accidentally trip over. And we had been advised that there was going to be trouble on the bridge on the way to Montgomery. The name of the bridge was named after a Confederate general, Edmund Pettus Bridge. He was the grand wizard or grand dragon of the Ku Klux Klan. Selma at the time was an apartheid city, totally segregated. The majority of the population was black. Over 50% of the population was black. And only about 100 black folks were registered to vote. Brutality existed at every turn. There was not a black person in any meaningful position in Selma at the time. Our main occupation was teacher, post worker, preacher. They were some of the few jobs, a barbershop operator. So Jimmy Lee Jackson had been killed in Marion, which was about 20, 30 miles from Selma. And the organizers said that they had planned a memorial for Jimmy Lee to take his body to Montgomery, Alabama. And they wanted, from what I understand, to organize a night march to commemorate that. And I wasn't going to participate in a night march. I was afraid during the day. So no way was I going to participate in a night march. Bottom line, it was determined for us to go ahead and march, and it was pre-organized, and we were advised that there'll probably be some tear gas, and they told us not to, if they released tear gas, not to rub our eyes, because that would only exacerbate the blindness that was going to be created by the tear gas. So we started out on the march, and we had to march through the neighborhood. We went through downtown Selma, 2 by 2, crossing the bridge. At the apex of the bridge, I looked over, I said, oh my goodness. I saw a sea of law enforcement, state troopers, posse members on horses. I was scared, but we were determined to dismantle discriminatory practices in Selma. We proceeded to march, cross the bridge, and I was very happy that they didn't release the tear gas while I was on the bridge. I was off the bridge on the other side when they ordered the tear gas to be released on us. First they told us to turn around, and we had said we weren't going to turn around. And the tear gas was ordered to be released, and they released it and started hitting everyone with billy clubs. And I had 3 of my buddies who were football players. We thought and had convinced ourselves we could outrun the tear gas. Needless to say, that didn't happen. So they were brutalizing us, beating the women, horses and billy clubs everywhere, omnipresent. And people were falling and hollering and screaming, all for the right to vote. I was not eligible to vote, but the part that was changed from going to Montgomery with Jimmy Lee body, we were going to turn it into an overall civil rights engagement. So we expected tear gas to be released, but we didn't expect to be brutalized. I was ineligible to vote. I was only 17 at the time. I had been arrested a few weeks earlier and was in jail for 2 weeks for failing to sign a statement that I would not march and demonstrate. So I was kind of seasoned and a little bit hardened in terms of marching and demonstrating, and I always had my tennis shoes on because I thought that I could escape any type of brutality that was going to be meted out. But on that date, they brutalized everybody. And I said, Lord, allow me to get across this bridge, back across this bridge. And when they were swinging billy clubs and billy sticks, I started to go down to the Alabama River. From the bridge, you go down into the river. But the only thing I could do in terms of swimming was dog paddle. There's no way for me to get down across the river dog paddling. I would have been swept down the river and probably drowned. So I turned around and went behind a building until the beating kind of subsided. But everybody, all the black folks were being brutalized. No exclusion. Women, kids, men, ministers, whomever was in the path of the state troopers, law enforcement, Jim Clark and his posse, and they had long billy clubs, something like longer than this, reaching out, popping people. And I would never run right into a person, in the face of them so they could hit me. If they got in my way, I tried to run over. At the time, I participated in a nonviolent movement, but I can't say I was nonviolent. If you caught me outside of a march, you had trouble on your hands because I wasn't going to be brutalized. Those were rough times. We got back across the bridge. A lot of my classmates were hospitalized with big hickeys on their heads and bruises on their bodies. And the leaders had ensured that the media was there to cover the dysfunction of our law enforcement. They were supposed to be there to protect us, but in Alabama there was no protection for black folks. It was fair game. We knew this when we decided to march. Needless to say, that first march was unsuccessful. The second march was Turnaround Tuesday. That was the next Tuesday. That's when Dr. King was there, and we crossed the bridge again, and he kneeled on the other side of the bridge, and we returned and came back. He sent out a clarion call to all people of goodwill and good faith to come to Selma to help us out. The third march, we were successful. As you know, we went all the way to Montgomery. There were only a limited number of us that were allowed to march all the way. I think it was about 100. And I wasn't part of that last group to march the full distance. But I did catch up with them outside of Montgomery and I marched the first leg and then marched the last leg. As you know, the voting rights bill came out of our marching and demonstrating. Those were tough times. President Johnson signed that Voting Rights Act in 1965. And President Obama and others have acknowledged the contributions of the foot soldiers for their bravery during that time. On the way back from and I have pictures, on the way back from the march, this is when Mrs. Viola Luizzo was murdered by the Klan. And other guys were killed subsequent and before the march. So it was a dangerous time. Black and white participated. Very, very dangerous. We have a lot to be thankful for, but it's a shame that a lot of us are not participating in exercising our rights to vote. That vote was hard won. We had a struggle. The struggle continues. And that bridge, there are many, many bridges that we've had to cross. There are many more we must cross. Don't be scared to cross it. You must stand up and be counted. All of us. Stand up and be counted. With our new president in office, we're going to have ample time and plenty of time to stand up. So stand up and be counted, and let's go forward, and God bless. So the view from the bridge is resistance. Resist. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was freedom fighter, attorney Phil Hunter. And now welcome the Concert Choral of Washington.
when the Spirit says sing. I'm going to sing when the Spirit says sing, and obey the Spirit of the Lord. I'm going to sing when the Spirit says sing. I'm going to sing when the Spirit says sing. I'm going to sing when the Spirit says sing, and obey the Spirit of the Lord. Obey, obey, obey. I'm going to pray when the Spirit says pray. I'm going to pray when the Spirit says pray. I'm going to pray when the Spirit says pray, and obey the Spirit of the Lord. I'm going to shout when the Spirit says shout. I'm going to shout when the Spirit says shout. I'm going to shout when the Spirit shouts, and obey the Spirit of the Lord. I'm going to sing when the Spirit says sing. I'm going to sing when the Spirit says sing. I'm going to sing. I'm going to sing when the Spirit says sing. And obey the Spirit of the Lord.
And that was the Concert Choral of Washington. Please welcome back to the stage Ms. Shirlita Settles.
A lot of wonderful information, huh? I need you to help me with this one, okay? There's too many of you crowd. Round. They're strong to move you down. You know if you die to fight them. Bring some nothing in a day. Round about us, we don't need war is not the answer, but we'll learn conquer. You know we gotta fight. Hey, she brings some lesson here today. The time is alive. Garnish me with brutality. Touch your knees. You can feast. Don't punish me, drink me out. Say you can see.
The name.
How's everybody doing this evening, afternoon? I said, how is everyone this evening, afternoon? Happy MLK Day. That means happy, be happy and rejoice in it, all right? Is that okay? So look, this is interactive. This song is interactive, okay? Y'all don't sound confident at all about being interactive. So this song, we are Spur of the Moment first. We want to thank Montgomery County for having us here. We want to thank you all for coming. It's very important. You don't have to be quiet. One thing I need you to do, I need you to help us out. Usually we have a percussionist. Our percussionist wasn't able to make it. And he puts hand claps on 2 and 4. So hand claps in African American community is real important. Somebody say amen. Okay, real important. I know they, real important. So, but it's important that you clap on 2 and 4. The beats 2 and 4, all right? And if you're clapping on 1 and 3, we're going to ask you to not clap because it's going to throw everybody else off, all right? So 2 and 4. There we go. This song is written by Earth, Wind, and Fire, performed by Earth, Wind, and Fire. It's recorded by us on our first record. It's The Way of the World. And the song speaks to the way of the world, which is we come into this world with a heart of gold. And somehow the way of the world turns our heart to stone. But it refrains that we listen to God and our Creator, that we take that heart of stone and get rid of it. The world is inherently cold, but it's going to take your spirit of a child to make it warm again, all right? And to heat up today, we're going to need them hand claps now. That's it? Oh, I love it. Sounds so good. Let's go.
bridge became a vital part of daily life for the people who lived in Littonsville. It was their conduit from their homes to their places of work, places of worship, to shopping, to entertainment. It literally was their lifeline. But on the other hand, the bridge also represents a connectivity between white Silver Spring and black Silver Spring. The bridge literally bridges the other side of the tracks for the people who lived in Littonsville. Local legends suggest that the bridge itself, which was constructed on that site in 1918, consists of a Baltimore and Ohio Railroad turntable that was salvaged from a rail yard in West Virginia and brought here to be used in the bridge.
The Talbot Avenue Bridge was really our link to outside of the community. There was only one other entrance out of the community, and that was on the other side of the community. We would walk over the bridge. There was no public transportation, so the closest public transportation was George Avenue. We would walk over the bridge to George Avenue to get the bus to go to Silver Spring, to go for medical attention, for shopping. It was really our link to whatever we needed to do outside of the community. And it was a very vital link that we had. In 1996, they closed the bridge for repairs. But prior to that, the community on the other side of the bridge tried to do everything they could to get that bridge closed down. They put their kids out in the street with their basketball hoops to play ball in the streets. They parked their cars not close to the curb, but in the street so that we'd have trouble getting by. They did not want the traffic from this community coming through their streets. And so there was a big battle to try to keep the bridge open for public transportation.
"90 to 95% of the people that live on this side of the street want that bridge gone and never build another one. Never. We've had that bridge closed. The people on that side, they went with the councilman and got it reopened. It was closed, I think, twice. Or the other time it might have had one way going this way in the morning and the one way coming this way in the afternoon. They got that taken down as well. Every time the people over here or the county agrees to close the bridge, the people over here seem to be able to get it open again. Not a good thing for anybody who lives over here. We like quiet enjoyment, just like they do. They wouldn't like it if we drove through their neighborhood. They wouldn't like it at all. We have on this side over here several speed bumps. Why? Because the people zoomed across the bridge, barely stopped for the stop sign here, didn't stop for the stop sign half the time. The cars would, the bikes never do. We want to keep our values up. You talked about the values going up. Yeah, it has, but it would go up even more and will go up even more if this bridge never opens again or no other bridge opens. This gentleman says it was historic. It's a historic, in my opinion, it's a historic piece of junk. I'm a Southerner, and yes, I was raised to be prejudiced. But in my old age, I've gotten to the point where I don't care. I don't care if you're black, white, pink, historic. It doesn't matter to me. So a racial thing is a bunch of baloney as far as I'm concerned.
They wanted to put everything on the traffic rather than race-related, but we knew what was going on.
This bridge has lasted a long time, and it has done what it was supposed to be doing. It was designed to take traffic from one neighborhood to another and connect one neighborhood to another,
right,
connect one world to another. Bridge, you've done your job. Thank you. And there are many stories.
A story of three bridges. Hope. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Patricia Tyson, President of the Littonsville Civic Association, Anna White, Northwood neighborhood resident.
Good evening, everyone. I wish I could tell you our story, but I don't have time. But the video you saw pretty much captures it. This bridge was known just about all of its life as the bridge. People who lived there, I was raised in Littonsville. I never knew the name of the bridge. It was only in the later years, when a lot of things happened, that we knew that that was called the Talbot Avenue Bridge. That bridge was our lifeline, as Charlotte explained. It was very important to us. And we fought time and time and time again. Not only speaking up, but praying, asking God to help us. We had no place else to go. There came a time finally when all the projects that they wanted to put in the community, every wonderful thing should go where we were. We were very unique, just a few blocks from Bethesda and Silver Spring. Not very far, but 5-minute ride from downtown Silver Spring. But we fought, we fought, we fought. On behalf of all the folks who I wish were here today to witness what has happened, a miracle. A miracle. God took that piece of what they called junk. And believe me, when I was a kid, the bridge rattled, so you heard its sound. It made noise, its boards went up and down. People from the city were afraid to go across it. But we weren't. We were used to it. It was like music to our ears. We knew who was coming in the community and who was going out. It's just that eventually light rail was coming through, and I guess the county thought, well, the bridge is going to have to come down anyway because the cars will never go under there. And they were right. But they checked the bridge every 3 months for years to see how much more underneath had rotted away. So they came up one day and they decided it's unsafe. We have to close it. So they did, but they didn't tell any of us in 3 neighborhoods that it would be closed. Now, it doesn't matter which side you're on, but when something happens like that, that unites enemies and friends. All 3 of us were stunned. So we called in the Department of Transportation and asked, why did you close the bridge? You didn't tell any of our neighborhoods. And I'm afraid that we kind of trounced on the man kind of hard. He didn't have a real good excuse. But anyway, when the meeting was over, we announced on our side that we wanted to celebrate the anniversary, the 100th anniversary of the Talbot Avenue Bridge. And so the meeting was over, and all of a sudden, up comes this. And she says, I want to celebrate it too. Now she's on the other side of the bridge. Shocked us. They want to celebrate the other side of the bridge? And so we said, okay, we'll call you just as soon as we start. She came, and I think maybe someone else with her came, and they very much they loved the bridge. You see, the gentleman you heard, and many of those that lived over there when he lived over there, they had all passed away. It was an integrated neighborhood on that side of the track. And one of the families was Anna. So she came, she volunteered to be on the program committee. The program committee did it was a fabulous job. Never seen anything like it. It was wonderful. The president of their association read the covenant that kept us and anybody else, Jews weren't allowed over there either, from living in that neighborhood. Well, after he read that, then he apologized for the type of behavior that we had witnessed from the other side of the bridge. After that celebration, it broke down the wall of segregation for both communities. We vowed it would never happen again. And believe me, it won't happen again. We promise.
Hi, my name's Anna, and I live just down the street from the bridge. I live just down the street from the Talbot Avenue Bridge, on the other side from Pat. Along with Pat, I'm a member of the Talbot Avenue Bridge Committee, made up of residents of the 3 communities adjacent to and connected by the bridge. When I moved to North Woodside 15 years ago, I didn't know anything about the history of the bridge or the communities on either side. I just liked the bridge for what it was, a quaint little one-lane wooden planked bridge that went bump, 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 bump when you crossed it. Standing on it, looking down the tree-lined tracks, one can almost feel out in the country somewhere, not just a half a mile from the DC border. I enjoyed taking my young children to watch trains from it. Many years later, I read an article about the bridge in the Washington Post, and then I saw the bridge film. You just saw some clips from it, and my view from the bridge began to expand. The bridge became a portal into aspects of local history that I had been woefully ignorant of. The bridge also became a powerful symbol and source of inspiration for racial reconciliation efforts. There is a historic Talbot Avenue Bridge shown in the film and demolished in 2019. Its girders will one day be placed in a future Littonsville park. And there is a new Talbot Avenue Bridge opened this past May. There is another bridge that Pat has alluded to, a human bridge, a bridge that a small group of community members from both sides began building over 7 years ago, and that we continued building even when there was no longer, and not yet, a physical bridge to connect us. Building human bridges takes time and effort. It involves the sharing of truths and the building of trust, an open heart and an open mind, a curiosity for others' lived experience, a willingness to listen and to learn, a desire to understand, a willingness to engage in challenging conversations, compassion, kindness, and grace, a commitment to a we instead of a us versus them mentality, respect, humility, and patience, acknowledgement of harm and mistakes, taking of responsibility, apology, forgiveness. Most of all, it takes love, the radical kind of love that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. spoke of. Our human bridge is built on a foundation of friendship, and it is a labor of love. Our committee has been engaged in many activities over the years. One is an annual lantern walk, which weaves together communities once divided by racial segregation. It is about shining our lights in the darkness, promoting unity over division, remembering the past, and taking steps toward a brighter future. Each year, leaders of the 3 communities connected by the bridge light together the Unity Lantern. We then carry the lantern to the bridge and place it in the middle, that in-between space where 2 sides meet, and there is no quote-unquote other side. We bring you today the light of our Unity Lantern, and also light from the lanterns representing communities on either side. The white one was carried this past November in memory of Charlotte Cofield, who you saw in the movie, a lifelong Littonsville resident, community leader, and member of our committee. She passed away in September after over 9 decades of life, and lived just long enough to see and cross over the new bridge. The other was made by a young, lifelong resident of North Woodside, 7 years and counting. This child was born just in time to have a chance to cross the historic bridge and also cross paths with Charlotte on it. These lanterns represent the spirit of the Talbot Avenue Bridge, a bridge that connects our communities, neighbors, black and white, young and old, those who came before us and on whose shoulders we stand, and those who follow us and will one day stand on ours, the past, the present, and the future. The story of the Talbot Avenue Bridge is not finished. We are writing the next chapter, and we invite you all to join us. To learn more about the bridge, our committee, the Lantern Walk, and how to support our bridge building efforts, you can go to talbotavenuebridge.org. Together, may we create the future that Dr. King envisioned, a beloved community. Our view from the bridge is hope. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Isis La Enferma de la Salsa, singing Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Oh
How's everyone doing tonight? Yes. What's going on? We can put our hands together. One more time around. Come on here, we're celebrating the great Dr. King today. Hey. Listen. Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backwards thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There is so much hatred, war and poverty. Yeah, wake up all the teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. See, they're the ones who's coming up, and the world is in their hands. When you teach the children, teach them the very best you can. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. Na 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 na. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it, girl. Just you and me. Put your hands together. Y'all want the world to change here. Listen here. Wake up all the doctors, make the old people well. They're the ones who suffer and who catch all the hell. See, they don't have so very long before the judgment day. Won't you make them happy before they pass away? Wake up all the builders, time to build a new land. I know we can do it if we all lend a hand. See, all we really need to do is put it in our minds. I know things will work out. They do it every time. Yeah. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. Na 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 na. The world won't get no better. You gotta change it, girl. Just you and me. Yeah, yeah. Just you and me. Come on, y'all, let's take it to the van. Come on and say, wake up, everybody. Get up, yeah, everybody. Come on and get up, yeah. Everybody, I need you to wake up. Everybody, yeah, you can't do it alone. I need some help, y'all. We can't do it alone. We need some help, y'all. I need you to get on up. Hey, everybody, I need you to get on up. Hey, everybody, say we can't do it alone. Do it alone. Can't do it alone. Can't do it alone. Can't do it alone. Yeah, yeah. Do it alone. Yeah, yeah. Everybody, wake up. Everybody, come on and wake up. Everybody, come on and get up, sir. Everybody, come on and get up. Everybody, can't do it alone. Can't do it alone. Can't do it alone, no, no. Can't do it alone. I need to get up. Everybody, can't do it alone. No, I need you to wake up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. John Selman.
so much for hanging in with us. I know it was a long program, but I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it. If you did, give me some feedback. Did you enjoy the program? Wonderful. I need to thank some folks, and we're getting out of here, I promise you. This is supposed to be an afternoon program, but we want to make sure you're able to eat dinner, so you can go right in your dinner right now, right? Afternoon program, roll into your dinner. Okay, it's timing. I know it's timing. Anyway, I'll work on that. Anyway, we're so very glad you were here. Let me start thanking some folks this afternoon. I want to also just help me join in thanking these folks as well. All of our talented artists and performers, give them a round of applause. Our county executive and our county council members, Kimberly Hodges and our technical crew, Selena Mindy Singleton, our narrator, Montgomery Community Media, and the folks here at the Strathmore, fantastic team of folks. Our staff at OHR and commission members and volunteers, Office of Management and Budget, our volunteer center, Faith McNeil, our county attorney, office of the county executive, and all the folks who made this happen. Thank you so much, everybody. John Sellers, where are you? I think it's time to say happy birthday, don't you? Let's sing happy birthday to Dr. King. There are books available outside from the Joan Trumpier Mulholland Foundation. Please go by and get a book for public education. Thank you so much, everybody. Really appreciate you being here. Come on, get up, everybody. Come on, I need everybody on their feet right here. Let's celebrate the Dr. King. Yeah. Now, y'all know y'all sung this at every birthday party you've been to. So I'm going to hear y'all loud and proud in here as we celebrate the great Dr. King. You know, it doesn't make much sense. There ought to be a law against anyone who finds offense at a day in your celebration. It should all be in our minds that there ought to be a time that we will set aside to show just how much we love you. And I'm sure you would agree, what would fit more perfectly than to have a world party on the day you came to be. Happy birthday to you. Y'all say, yeah, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, day to you. You know, I never understood how a man that died for good would not have a day that would be set aside for his recognition, because there should never be, just because some cannot see, the dream as clear as he, that they should make it become an illusion. And we know everything that he stood for time will bring. For in peace our hearts will sing, thanks to Martin Luther King. Happy birthday to you. Say, day to you. Come on, y'all. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Listen, why has there never been a holiday where peace is celebrated all throughout the world? You know the time is overdue for people like me and you who know the way to truth is love and unity for all God's children. It will be a great event, and the whole day should be spent in full remembrance of those who lived and died for the oneness of our people. So let it all begin We know that love will win. Let it out, don't hold it in. Sing as loudly as you can. Happy birthday to you, yeah. Happy birthday to you. Come on and say. Come on and say happy birthday to you, yeah. Come on and say happy birthday to you, yeah. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. Come on and say day to you. Here's the part I like right here. Let's make it real big, everyone. Y'all sing it out loud. Come on, say. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, yeah. Come on, sing it one more time like you mean it. Everybody singing. Come on, y'all, let's celebrate the great Dr. King, that his dream is still alive. And every day, we will be the change to make sure that we live in love and unity. One more time. Sing it. Happy birthday. Yeah. Come on, sing. Here we go. Happy birthday. Thank you so much, Strathmore. See you next year.
Thank you and good night.